Welcome back to the No Regret Show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Larry. Now, we have a reaction video to a reaction video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Zach Rios. What's going to happen in this video is he's reacting to someone telling you don't quit your job. Haven't we been saying that on this channel? In 2024 and 2023, for some reason, it was cool to make videos. You work a plantation 9-to-5 job, leave your job, you're a worker bee, you're a slave to society, be an influencer, be a day trader, be a whatever the hell, selling whatever the hell they were selling. Remember, I was making videos saying, listen, do not quit your job. Do not leave your job. You got medical benefits. You're going to be good. See, the great resignation is done. During COVID, what happened was a lot of people were naming their price. People didn't want to leave their house. People were losing their jobs. They were sick. They were saying, listen, I want $150,000 and I'll work remotely. Okay, I know people that were complaining that they had some spotty, lazy people, but they couldn't find anybody. People were leaving their jobs every 6 months, upgrading. It's not like that anymore. What's starting to happen is times are getting hard. Businesses are not making the money they work because people are not spending. Therefore, they're starting to lay people off. And let's react to this video.
We're going to start off with a video that I think sums it up very well.
Keep your job. And if you don't like the job you got right now, don't leave until you secure another one. And what I mean by that is until you sign that dotted line and you have a start date, don't leave that one. A lot of jobs are not coming easy as they used to. Hell, even McDonald's and Wendy's is getting more selective on who they hire.
Remember, I made a video saying that McDonald's workers make a pretty good wage. They get money towards school. There's 401k, there's pension. What's starting to happen is people can't find jobs. So now they're going to the McDonald's, the Wendy's, the Burger Kings. They're trying to get a job, or they need a second job that can work with their number one job because inflation, everything is expensive. Car payments, car insurance, food. Remember, I kept saying, ignore these people making these videos saying, quit your job. You're a sucker if you are a worker bee.
Sorry to interrupt our video, but we have a guy up here that's pretty much telling you to quit your job. And God is going to put food on your table if you pay him $19 a month and the price goes up to $35. I guess this guy is going to make sure you have eggs and your car insurance is paid and you have medical insurance, because he's telling you pretty much to just quit your job, pray to God, and live your purpose.
They trying to make you feel bad, like, you got a job yet? Well, you ain't found a job? And then people try to come up and say you make you feel bad all over again, chosen one, like, such and such of them down there hiring, you need to get up out of here, you need to get a job. Like, you heard that all your life, didn't you? You know why? Because the people that told you that, that's all they knew. That's all they knew was work for somebody else. That's all they knew.
Now, I have a question for you. If you do build a business, who's going to work it for you? You need workers, right? If you do build a business, you need people to help run the business with you. Every successful business has workers. You see, there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. See, this is the old snake oil salesman. You got to be the owner. You going to be a worker bee? You got to be the owner of that business. That's all they ever taught you. Let me ask you a question. How do you buy rental real estate? How do you renovate real estate? How do you start a business? How do you start a business model when you don't have money? Yeah, we need money to start that barbershop, don't we? We need money to start the landscaping business. We need money to start real estate.
All right? They didn't know how to create their own goals. They didn't know how to create a business, or, they didn't know how to be financially free or nothing like that. Maybe because nobody taught them how to do that. But see, they put inside you, they told you the same thing that they only knew, which was go get you a job. That's how we know that you successful or not. And that was like the number one validation of whether or not you are a real woman. Ain't that crazy? Like, what they do?
Okay, yeah, quit your job. have no money, and let's see how fast you end up in poverty or the penitentiary. The two P's. Let's get back to our regular video.
I love my career. I'm not leaving my job. My job is my bread and butter. Didn't I always say your career will help you parlay your wages into the next stages?
Protect your job at all costs. Don't be coming up here complaining about how they pissed you off at work. Don't be coming up here showing your badge. Don't be coming up here doing dances and stuff while you working. Make sure you clock out before you start doing your TikToks. Don't be showing your computer screen trying to prove to people on this app that you are employed. Stop being late to work. Come back from your lunch break on time.
Whoa, hold up. Didn't I say that before? Didn't I say that? If you want to stand out from other workers, I said come in early, leave late, go in the office, try to advance, because when they have layoffs, they will say to themselves, this person shows initiative. Whenever there's a layoff coming, that is their excuse to get rid of dead weight. That is their excuse to get rid of you. So if you're a person that actually does your job, they're not going to want to get rid of you, because now they're going to be stuck with lazy people, and a lot of higher ups don't want to do that work. So they're going to keep you, so you do the work.
Not break any confidentiality agreements that you signed when you first got hired. In a lot of corporate settings, we do sign confidentiality agreements. And it's basically just stating like what you do at work gonna stay at work. If you
well, we'll rewind it. Meaning, don't be making TikTok videos like these people be making. This is what I do at my job. You want to know what the loans of these people be having? You're showing people's sensitive information. You're behind the scenes at Subway showing how the lettuce might be rotten, or you're at Chipotle. Oh, there's bugs in the beans. That's why they're making people sign these confidentiality things, because everybody's trying to go viral. Everybody's trying to go viral, putting companies on blast, and a lot of these companies are smart to it. Let's rewind it a little bit.
do not break any confidentiality agreements that you signed when you first got hired. In a lot of corporate settings, we do sign confidentiality agreements. And it's basically just stating like what you do at work gonna stay at work. If you process payments or see any confidential information, you ain't gonna say nothing. And don't lose your job trying to go viral.
So what she said is going to be seen throughout this entire video, especially not getting fired from your job because you wanted to make a couple TikToks. And over the past several years, you've probably seen videos of people leaving their jobs because of stress or the work environment, and they ended up just hopping jobs. Maybe it's a little bit of a pay cut, or they're making relatively the same amount of money and they have a much nicer life. But that's just not real.
It's not realistic anymore, because people have to return back to work. You see, a lot of these jobs were willing to pay people remotely. Remember I said, I don't mean to keep tooting my own horn, but I said, people are selling their homes, relocating to other areas, thinking they're going to be working remotely forever. And then your job says, come back to the office, and what are you going to tell them? I moved from New York to Fort Lauderdale. They're going to say, so are you going to be in the office on Monday? Because if you're not going to be here, we're letting you go. Now you're placed in Fort Lauderdale. How are you going to pay the bills for it? When you lose that job in New York, you now live in Fort Lauderdale. What you do might not be in demand in Fort Lauderdale, and now you're in competition with everybody else trying to work remotely and live in the sun.
The case now in 2025. I recently just made a video showing you some of the insane job demands up online right now for virtually no pay, and they want bachelor's, master's degrees, 15 years of experience for $20 an hour. It's laughable. So even with how ridiculous the market and these companies are, it is not nearly as easy to job hop or keep your job right now. We have a comment from one of you guys, got laid off this morning. Grateful I have a fund for unemployment. To be honest, I kind of saw it coming. Good luck to everyone out there. And this is definitely not a one-off issue. Tons of people are getting laid off now.
Happy Monday. Just got fired. Holy shit. I thought it was just like a normal routine meeting. And no, it was actually a word.
See, it's all a game. All a game. You're spending money, blowing through money, car payments. If you lose your job and your car is paid off, your insurance is paid for the year, you have a surplus of cash, you have emergency funds, you got money tucked aside, your debt is low, she's panicking because she lost her job and she doesn't know what she's going to do. A lot of Americans are paycheck to paycheck. And reality sets in when you have $3,000, $4,000 worth of bills coming May 1st, and you have $300 in your checking account and $1,000 in your savings account, and you're trying to figure out what you're going to do because unemployment might take 6 weeks to kick in.
About moving forward with your employment, and you know what's so funny? It's like when you think that you finally find like a good job and like a company that cares about you, you're like, oh my god, I actually work for people that care. No, you don't. No, you don't. That was like the only stable thing that I had going on in my life right now. Whew, I was not expecting that. I would have never put money down on that happening.
See, that's the only stable thing she had going on. If she would have had a stable emergency fund, she would have backup plans, no car payments. You have a, see, it breaks my heart because it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening through 2025, 2026. As long as these markets are unstable and profits are not being made by companies, there's going to be more layoffs. There's going to be more layoffs and more people in her situation. And for anybody who always likes to say, oh, your channel's small, you don't give any advice that could really help us in the real world. What you mean is the hot plays for quick money. This guy has over 100,000 subscribers, and he literally talks about the same stuff I do. But hope you made it this far. No regrets. Get it.